Enjoy this free preview from MyOutdoorTV.
This bit always gets a shiver down my spine.
With over 20,000 episodes of the best outdoor shows. We're the home of the adventurous.
When you're hunting, weather can change. We know this.
The legends.
That was the hardest stalk of my life.
MyOutdoorTV. For a 30-day free trial, use promo code YT22.
Shooting Gallery is presented by Midway USA. Just about everything for shooting, hunting, and the outdoors.
I'm Michael Bain, and though it may surprise you to hear me say this, welcome to Shooting Gallery. Again, like a bad penny, we just keep turning up. Seriously though, by popular demand, Shooting Gallery is back, and I cannot thank you enough for that. For season 22, or maybe season 1. And the logical place to go is FTW Ranch, where we're visiting a class that teaches new hunters how to hunt. Plus some time with the new president of Taurus, Brett Voorhees. New hunters have a lot to learn, and that starts in the classroom.
Just treat your guns as if they're loaded at all times, right? Until you prove otherwise. So if I pass you a gun, please do this, and if you pass me a gun, I'm gonna do the same thing. I wanna know what the condition of the rifle is. I'm gonna keep it in a safe direction. I'm gonna pull the bolt to the rear. If I can put it on safe, I'll put it on safe.
Over the many years we've been doing the SAM, the hunter training program, we had several things happen to us that made us aware of the fact that, you know, a lot of people might be interested in learning how to hunt for whatever reason, and they don't know where to start. They don't have any idea. And they're afraid to admit to a group of friends, well, I've never gutted an animal before. I've never deboned the meat before. They're not even sure how to shoot one or where to shoot it. And then some dear friends of mine and I were talking one night. They said, hey, Hammerhead, why don't you start a new hunter training program? I mean, like new. Supply the gun, the ammo. And I thought, you know, that's a really good idea. I mean, there's got to be thousands of people out there that just want to come learn how to be a hunter. It's a wonderful program and a great way to start from the ground up and be taught the right way.
We start very basically in the classes, firearm safety, #1, right? That's #1. And then we slowly start talking about the rifle systems that they bring out here or we provide. We talk about scopes, we talk about their projectiles that they're shooting, minutes and mill systems, understanding minutes and mill, and then preparing them for when we get down to the range that we all speak a common language. We take them to a cleaning class. We want to prepare them when we get down to the range that everything's good to go. And then we can work on the shooter himself. You know, once we get down to the range, we cover the 7 principles of marksmanship. We go very in depth in those different processes of your body position, acceptable reticle movement, breathing, focus, trigger control, and follow through, and all those principles that are there. So we spend a lot of time on that. It could be anyone who's never hunted in their life, or it could be someone who has hunted but wants to just learn more, because there's so many aspects that we're putting in here that they may or may not have done.
Yeah, FTW Ranch is a special place. This is my first trip here, and it's really been eye-opening. You know, I've been hunting pretty much my whole life. I consider myself not necessarily an expert, but somebody who knows what they're doing when they're out in the field. And I'm still learning stuff from this introductory hunter class that we're taking. But then also to be able to take the Raging Hunter in .44 Magnum out on the dangerous game course and really put that to the test under a high-stress environment. It's really exciting, humbling at times also, but it's very fun, and we're seeing what the gun is capable of doing as well as yourself.
When Shooting Gallery returns, it's time to leave the long-range rifles behind and look at some dangerous game with pistols.
Moving.
Shooting Gallery is brought to you by Streamlight Flashlights, Midway USA, just about everything for shooting, hunting, and the outdoors. And by Ruger, rugged, reliable firearms.
Welcome back to Shooting Gallery, where we've been at FTW Ranch in Texas. We've been shooting a lot of long-range rifles. But now it's time to change gears, go to dangerous game, and handguns.
Okay, on your target, Michael, you see that right eyeball? That eyeball as we see it, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be your point of aim. Take the nostril, the left nostril as we see it.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Mark, you're gonna be aiming at that right eyeball. The main thing we're looking at here is preparing the hunter for the worst case scenario in the dangerous game thought process. In this case, we're no longer in a prone type position. This might be more upright or a standing type position, and we go through what we call snaps. All right, hunters, finger alongside, thumb on a safety. Stand by for target. Take him. Step, back pressure. When we talk about snap target, this is very common in your buffalo type hunting or elephant buffalo or some of the dangerous game type animals. That might be very quick and very close contact. So we do a little different approach to how we cover the snaps training. Take them. He's down, he's down, he's down. Fingers off. High port.
The snap shooting was a very interesting part of the course. It's probably not something that people practice enough, honestly, and I know I hadn't until this course.
Right target, take him right. Hit him again.
But taking a pistol out and doing snap shooting, specifically a revolver, where you have to reload under stress and under a time constraint, and then get the gun back on target and shoot it again, it is an eye-opening experience, but also something that you can work through and you can execute it. So it was very educational for me on how to run that revolver a little bit more efficiently, but also how to get rounds down on target very quickly with a hunting handgun, so that was fun.
Left target, take him left. Hit him again. Right target. Once snaps are over, we'll come over and do moving targets. Take him. One shot only. The average that we see on a buffalo, talking to our PHs, is an average of 4 shots. That's the average shots it takes to put down a buffalo. Can it happen in one? Of course it can, but we never expect that to happen. All right, so we're always training towards multiple rounds. So we cover movers, and then we go into the charging aspect. In charges, they're going to be coming straight at you. You might engage a target, and it comes directly at you. So we go through the charging scenario. Moving. Hit him, hit him, hit him. There you go, you got it. Where's the dot? Where's the dot?
Brett, whenever a new executive comes into a gun company, you sort of immediately have the challenge of making your own mark. And so far, you've been doing really good. The GX4, a very home run introduction on that micro 9mm pistol. But you've also got some great stuff coming for revolvers, including a little advance on the 856 Defender.
Yeah, so this is our new Black Label series, and this is just the first introduction of that series. But what the Black Label is for us, it's almost a small batch, more refined version of an existing gun that we already make. So we took our 3-inch 856, refined some of the features. The trigger's fantastic, the surface finish, chamfered cylinders, some of those things that people really want. And we're gonna offer, a more refined version of that at still a very good value.
And you've got other stuff you're sort of experimenting with. There's been big frame Tauruses, light big frame Tauruses for a long time, but this one is a featherweight.
It is. This is a new model that we're kind of working out some of the final features on, but it's meant to be a trail gun, 44 Magnum, 4-inch barrel, but using some titanium components and aluminum frame and shroud. This gun only comes in about 25, 26 ounces, so it's extremely light, very useful for a trail gun.
a gun to be carried a lot and shot very little with maximum load.
Exactly.
And it's only fair to mention the success that you've had with the Raging Hunter line. I said after I had mine shot my 44 for a while that it is easily the best value in a hunting handgun in the country. And you've gone to multiple calibers within this hunting line, so hey, you can start a beginner, step them up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you can start off with a 357 Magnum. Now we go all the way up to a 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. So, you know, a lot of different variations in barrel lengths, calibers. It's an extremely well-balanced, large frame hunting revolver. It's really a pleasant shooter and something that you can successfully go out and hunt with.
And listen, do not start with the 460, okay? Start lower. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Coming up on Shooting Gallery, Brett gets to put some of his training to work in his first hunt at FTW Ranch.
Yep, I got him.
Welcome back to Shooting Gallery, where Taurus CEO and President Brett Voorhees is ready to head into the field with legendary hunting guide and television personality, Larry Weishuhn.
The long-range component of this course that we're taking at FTW is also pretty exciting. It's something that I really enjoy doing and have done quite a bit, but they've definitely brought a new way of teaching, for me at least, that has really helped me understand the principles behind long-range shooting, and not necessarily long-range hunting, but how that translates to the field.
We'll walk back over here. If you see something, just wave. Okay.
If you can get good hits at 700 yards consistently, your hits at 200 yards on an animal are going to also be that much better. And that's really what it's all about. It's about taking that animal and harvesting it in one shot, clean kill and humanely.
It's going to come up closer a little bit, maybe. Yeah, here he comes. He's still heading our way.
Yep, I got him.
Looks like it's about 348 or so, 350 right there probably. Whenever you feel comfortable, when he stops or you feel comfortable taking the shot, take it, but be ready to take a second shot as quick as you can, because those gunners can be really tough. There he is right there.
All right, yeah, he's turning broadside now.
Yeah, he's right there with about 340, 348, I think is what it is,
yep.
Maybe. Whenever you feel comfortable.
All right, I'm ready.
Take him. He's hit. Brett, you hit him absolutely perfect. I think right on the shoulder, maybe just right behind the shoulder. There he goes. Oh, cool. That is a beautiful, beautiful ram. God, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do. They have, y'all can see here a little bit. Look at that big eye.
My goodness.
They are pretty.
Sighting in a scoped rifle is a simple process. Hi, I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA. Let me show you how I do it. This scope was mounted back at the shop. The base and ring screws were properly torqued and the crosshairs leveled. I also set the scope as far forward as possible for maximum eye relief. The first step is to bore sight the gun the old-fashioned way, starting at 25 yards. With the bolt out, I look down the bore and center the bullseye. Then, without moving the rifle, I adjust the crosshairs to the center of the target and fire one shot. Here's the next step. With the gun still in the rest and the crosshairs on the bullseye, I turn the turrets as necessary to move the crosshairs to the bullet hole. The gun must not move as I make these adjustments. Now I can set a fresh target at 100 yards. With the crosshairs centered on the target, I fire another shot. Looks pretty good. Last, I fire 3 shots to see how it groups. So that's how I sight in a scoped rifle. I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA, and that's the way it is.
You guys know I have a propensity for weird guns, especially big caliber weird guns, and this one's right on up there. It's a .458 SOCOM bolt-action rifle built by Marissa and Diane Bishop in California, two great women gunsmiths. You know that the .458 SOCOM was developed for the AR-15 platform, but Marissa wondered what you could do with a .458 SOCOM in a bolt gun. And that required some invention, some patents, a lot of work to end up with this thumper. One of the big challenges that the Bishops faced was they wanted to use an Accuracy International magazine, standard magazine for precision rifles, except that little short cartridges generally won't feed out of an AI magazine. The solution was a patented set of spacers that the Bishops created that allows this gun to be 100% reliable feeding out of AI magazines. They designed this muzzle brake, which gives this gun virtually no recoil at all, even though it's throwing great big heavy bullets. I took it here to FTW because we wanted to ring it out. What did we find? Well, you know what? At 500 yards, you kind of lose all the adjustment on the scope. You're topped out, and the trajectory looks like a rainbow arcing into it. But all in all, this would be the ideal gun to carry with you if you're set upon by a pack of hogs, possibly zombies, or feral Priuses. .458 SOCOM in a bolt, it's cool.
So they're chewing on these antlers to get that phosphorus.
There's lots more to harvesting game than just the shot. When Shooting Gallery returns, we look at some of those elements. Biology, tracking, and hey, even cooking.
Every muscle group has its unique purpose.
Shooting Gallery is brought to you by Streamlight Flashlights, Midway USA, just about everything for shooting, hunting, and the outdoors. And by Ruger, rugged, reliable firearms.
That way you won't get the reflection.
Larry Weishuhn is one of the great masters of understanding the biology of game. And here at this class at FTW, he helps everyone understand.
When I find something like that, it tells me that there is an element problem. There's not enough phosphorus here. So they're chewing on these antlers to get that phosphorus. Calcium phosphorus can be utilized in a ratio of 1:1 to 2:1.
So many of our students that have came, the reason they're here is because they didn't have their father that taught them how to hunt, or grandfather, which was the case for myself. There was some mentor in a person's life that passed on all of this knowledge. And for a lot of people today, they wanted to do it, nobody just showed them how. So that's what we're here for. We're showing them how to do it, walking them through all of those processes. Larry Weishuhn has came in and he's taught many things like what animals eat, where you're gonna find them, water sources, cover, good places to hunt, good places to find animals. Those are all exciting things for our students to learn as well.
So to me, a knife blade, anything longer than your index finger is a waste of good metal, and you can't control it.
Mr. Weishuhn is here, Larry Weishuhn, who, from a biologist standpoint, will actually take them through the process of gutting an animal. You've never seen anything like it, right? He's gonna go through it like an autopsy, and he's gonna talk about all different things within inside the animal that you would be looking for, the health of the animal, the entire intestines, heart, lungs. He goes through everything. It's quite amazing to see what Mr. Weishuhn knows about the anatomy of the animal.
I was going to see if I could find a bullet, but I think the bullet passed all the way through on both of them. It went right here, and it went through the shoulder, and I know it's coming out here.
And then we have a caping class, show you how to remove the skin. And we typically hang the animal up in the cooler, let it cool down. And then we circle back around on day 4 and we show them how to actually debone the meat, which is fun. It's a skill set on its own.
One of the things that's often overlooked is what do you do with the harvest when you get it home? Well, Chef Josh Schwenke is a master at recipes, at cooking, and easing the transition between that cellophane wrapped meat at the store and the fresh harvest.
It is something that we are trying to combat is the overall idea that food comes in a package. And if you don't believe that this is a mindset, go talk to any normal, everyday teenager and ask them, where does bacon come from? Or show them a picture of a rutabaga and say, what is this? And they're gonna have like 20 different guesses, and not a single one's gonna be right. So with all that,
so many people today are so far removed from their food source. I mean, look at the number of kids in the average school in America that have never killed a chicken. But I think the world's waking up a little bit. You know, natural food sources is very important.
Every muscle group has its unique purpose. This is universal. So when I'm talking about a deer, I'm also talking about a cow or a pig or any one of the other type of species that kind of resemble that type of biology. You cannot cook a fillet the same way you cook this. You cannot cook a tenderloin or a backstrap the same way you cook this because of the connective tissue. The other thing you want to learn is that fat, even though it equals flavor, with game cooking, fat also means gaminess. So if you don't eat a lot of game cooking because you're just like, I really cannot get over the gaminess of it, all that is gonna come from the fat, and it's also gonna come from the bones. So if you can extract that as much as possible, you're gonna get rid of a majority of that gaminess that you will find in your cooking.
We show them how to make sausage and how to prepare wild game meat, which is very little fat typically, and how to cook it with bacon or different things like that. So just get everybody generally comfortable handling meat, how to debone it, how to handle it, how to cook it, how to process it, how to store it.
Not too bad. There's still a little bit of protein on here, but that's the thing is I'm gonna utilize this.
It's honest to say that there is no other course or no other place where a novice can come to learn so much about hunting in such a short span of time. If you're thinking of heading into the woods on your own, you need to first think about heading here to FTW for one of these incredible courses. I'm Michael Bain. This is Shooting Gallery. We'll see you next week.
We hope you enjoyed this free preview from MyOutdoorTV. To continue watching, start your 30-day free trial when you use promo code YT22.